Now for our 3D shapes, we're going to turn the grid back on. And again, that's going to the wrench, going to canvas and pressing drawing guide. We're going to start off by drawing all of our shapes first. So I'm going to start off with this sphere. That's the easiest. You're just going to make a circle. And then to make that oval a perfect circle, you're going to touch the screen to get a circle. Now, it's not a sphere yet, but once we shade it in, it's going to be. Then we are going to make our cube. So you're going to start off with a square. Try to make sure that all of your sides have the same amount of squares. So for example, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on this side, there's 6. Now you're the front side of your cube. To make the other sides, start off by making a straight line and touch the screen. That is going to lock the angle of the side of your cube. So I'm going to choose this angle right here. This is about a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to go up 1, 2 cubes. So I'm going to do the same thing, the 45-degree angle. So I made the line and then touched the screen to lock that angle. And I went up 1, 2. Same thing here, touching the screen to lock in the 45-degree angle. And I went up 2 squares. From here, you can make a line to connect each of those 3 lines, and you will end up with a cube. And then finally, we are going to make a cylinder. So this, I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to make an oval. I'm going to make a closed oval. You can then duplicate this oval and move it up. If you connect the end of this oval to this one, and the end of this oval to this one, you have a cylinder. I'm going to start off by shading in the sphere. To do that, I'm actually going to first start off by putting all my line layers together. And I am going to fill in the sphere. Right now, it's not working because I have this line layer in reference. Now that I'm not shading this in, and I'm trying to shade in these lines, I'm going to have to make this layer the reference layer. I'm going to fill that in a medium gray. Now from here, we're going to alpha lock the layer, grab our shading brush, airbrush, and for spheres, you kind of want to shade it where you're moving in a crescent moon shape. So if a crescent moon is shaped like this, and you know what, I alpha locked it, so let me show you in a new layer. If your crescent moon is shaped like this, you're kind of shaping that same motion, shading in like this, okay? So back to here, you're moving in that crescent moon shape. And that shading is gonna wrap almost all the way around your sphere. You can grab some lighter gray for the highlights. I'm gonna grab a very bright white for the center of the highlight, and a really dark just for the very edges of the sphere. Now if I turn off the drawing guide, it looks like this. You might want to turn off the drawing guide a little bit earlier just so you can see your sphere a little better. I'm going to leave mine off now that we're done making the shapes. You could even go back in here if you want to kind of edit it. I think I might need a little bit more of like a middle gray here, because I added a little bit too much shadow, and you can edit your sphere as you need. Okay, next I'm gonna un-alpha lock. Remember, once you have your shapes in alpha lock, you can't add in new colors. So I'm going to un-alpha lock, and I'm going to drop in gray into this into my cube. But I'm gonna grab the same gray I made the lines with. Now, for this, I'm going to actually turn back on my drawing guide. And for this, I'm going to show you a slightly different way how to shade it. Right now, all three of the sides of this cube are on one layer. What you can do to shade this in, because let's say I go grab my soft brush and I grab a darker color. It's kind of hard to shade this in without getting the shading from here into this side of the cube. So one thing you could do is turn this back onto Alpha Lock and then use what's called your lasso tool. The S over here is where your lasso tool is. To get to your lasso tool, you have to press S and press freehand. In Procreate, it's called freehand, but in most other applications called your lasso tool. I'm going to press one of the corners of my cube. This is the other corner right here, the front side of my cube. This corner, and back here. What you'll notice is that the whole background, it has these stripes that move. If I shade now, it'll only let me shade inside of this cube that I just drew out. I'm gonna grab a really big shading brush and I'm going to shade in this part of the cube. And now, once I'm done, I clicked S one more time and the front part of my cube is shaded in. I'm going to leave the side of my cube a medium gray, and I'm going to make the top side of my cube a light gray. So now I'm going to select the corners of the top of my cube. It's helpful if you zoom in for this. I'm going to make a dot on this corner. I'm going to tap on this corner. Tap here, here, and here. And now I'm going to shade in the top part of my cube with a lighter gray. Now that I'm done shading it in, I'm going to tap out of the lasso tool. And now I have a shaded in cube. This one's going to be the toughest, but you can do it. Again, you're going to un-alpha lock and drag in, and it's okay, we're doing our lines and our shading on the same layer, but that's okay because we don't want outlines for this artwork. We want it to look a little bit more realistic. I'm going to grab a medium gray. I'm going to drag in that color inside of our cubes, and I'm actually going to grab the same gray I used for the outline and drag those colors in. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to select out. I'm going to draw out the top part of this oval and then select the rest. I'm going to pretend like the light is hitting the top of this and shade this a light gray. Then I'm going to select out the bottom half of this. And actually, I forgot to put this back into alpha lock. So before that, I'm going to alpha lock. And now I'm going to shade this in. Now I'm going to do the bottom half. So I'm going to grab S again. And I'm going to retrace this out. And I'm going to grab the bottom half of my cylinder. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to act as if the light is coming in this way. So I'm going to add shadows and dark shadows on this side. And I'm going to make it lighter as it goes to the other side. So I'm going to do a little bit of shadow here and here. And then I'm going to add some more lighter grays as I get to here. And add a light gray right here. Now if I zoom out and I turn that off, those are my practice shapes and value scale.